Okay, week two, right? Week two of May. Are you ready for it? I am. Okay, so this week, right, we're talking about why undereating, over-caffeinating, and stress patterns are distorting your self-command. So if you're trying to have better follow through, better patience, and more emotional steadiness on top of an under supported body, you're making the job harder than it needs to be. Okay. So yesterday, right, we started this conversation. So this week, as we're talking about self-command, I want to connect it to something that's very real. Okay. And that is a fact that you will always have a harder time leading yourself well when your body is under supported. Okay. It's just 100% guaranteed fact, right? It's not an excuse. It's just true. Okay. So a lot of people are trying to have emotional steadiness. They're seeking and searching for cognitive clarity and strong follow through on top of, and here's what's happening, right? They're trying to do all of that on top of not enough protein, way too much caffeine, not enough water, long gaps without eating, stress driven appetite disruption, and eating patterns that keep energy up and down, up and down, up and down all day. Now, great. People are like, why does this really matter? Right. Well, it matters a lot, and it matters a lot, especially for women or people in their 40s and beyond. Okay. Where the body often becomes less forgiving. Right. And it becomes less forgiving of chaotic patterns that maybe, right, used to slide by easier in our 20s and 30s, right? You can't always run on fumes, my friend. And you can't run on fumes and still expect clean, reliable patience. Okay. You can't always skip real nourishment and then wonder, why does everything feel more urgent, more irritating, or harder to tolerate? So let's bring this down to earth, okay? And focus in, right? When blood sugar is swinging real hard, right? People will feel more shaky, more impatient, more foggy, more emotionally recruitable. And what I mean by that is, right? Like we can get sucked into other things emotionally, whether that be incited by something happening out there or whatever, right? But you also get more snacky. You get more desperate for quick energy. You're even more likely to say yes to what gives fast relief, right? Like, just give me the candy bar. And that's not a mindset. Okay. That's physiology affecting your access. So when caffeine becomes your main strategy, especially on an empty stomach or paired with very little actual nourishment, it can create a false sense of capability real early in the day, but that gets immediately followed by irritability, crashes, shakiness, anxiety, and even a wired but unfocused energy later on. Again, not because caffeine is evil, because dosage, timing, and context matter. Okay, so for many women, especially those of us under stress, right? Like the basic questions are more useful than the complicated questions. Okay, are you with me? So here's some things you want to ask yourself. Did I actually eat enough? Did I eat anything that will hold me, right? Satiate me? Did I have any protein? Did I hydrate? Did I use caffeine as a support or as a rescue mission? Right? And did I wait so long to eat that now I want everything and I want it fast? Right? So we have to be willing to ask ourselves these questions and answer them honestly, because that's the level that actually changes things. Because self-command gets real hard when the body feels unstable, right? The brain is more likely to start chasing relief. The mood is more likely to get brittle and breakable. Your patience is going to get shorter. Your focus is going to get weaker. And the pause becomes harder to access. When I mean pause, I mean that breath, that beat, that margin, that space, the recovery time, whatever it is that you utilize pause for. So what supports focus fueling? Here's some ideas, right? A steadier breakfast or first meal, more protein earlier in the day, not waiting until you're starved to eat, hydration before and alongside caffeine, meals that are not just quick carbs with no staying power, and paying attention, right? Paying attention to when your energy drops and what tends to happen right before, right? Like we always forget to pay attention to what happened right before. So when your energy drops, like, oh, let me think back here, right? A few minutes ago, an hour ago, what happened right before my energy did? And no, right? Like this doesn't require obsession. It requires honesty. So I'm not asking you to obsessively, do anything. I just want you to be honest with yourself. Your body doesn't need for you to be perfect. It just needs more support from you than it needs chaos. So as you practice, right, just notice, separate, stay, and choose. Right? Notice, separate it, stay with it, and then choose, right? Ask yourself, did I fuel a body that can help me do that? Right? Like you're getting ready to do something. Did I fuel my body in a way that can help me do that? Because sometimes what feels like emotional weakness is actually a body asking for better support. Okay? Reflect on this, right? Your body doesn't have to be perfect to support you better. It just has to be supported more consistently. Okay, so in yesterday's session, we talked about the self-command skill set. And part of that skill, my friends, is asking whether your body has what it needs for you to actually access pause.